you guys? It's your boy Voresache, and we are back at it again. I got another hyped up white boy today for y'all.
I'm white.
Yeah, we got Cryptic here. We were talking earlier, and I was like, damn, we're having such a great conversation. Let's fucking put this on my fucking channel. I just try to like provide a little casual conversation, try to get away from like the usual furry trend of like talking about top 5 fursuit makers. Oh, talking about these puppy furs. Oh no, I don't care about any of that. Anyway, I care about the real shit, and you know, I just kind of like want to do my own thing. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Cryptic. Nice to meet y'all. I was on a few dating shows and I make music. It's nice to meet you.
So, for our first topic, I figured we could just like shoot the shit and like talk about like tattoos and stuff like that. Let's just start off with like the basics. Like, how many tattoos do you have?
It's kind of hard to classify, but on this arm is a whole sleeve. So I've had probably 5 sessions on this one arm, and then I have a couple on this arm. That's just a little fun tattoos I got with some friends.
In total, currently right now, I think I have 11. Obviously I got like more in the works, but like time and money and like trying to find the right balance between like work and getting tattoos, because there's nothing worse than like having to like sweat through a tattoo, like anything like that, just being like concerned the whole time and like babying it like unnecessarily. I usually try to like get them during like the fall and winter time that way, because it just be so fucking humid and hot that like I've on these like moth tattoos above my knees, I had like the Sanoderm on it because like I think it's kind of cool that like tattoos now, like we've gotten to a point where like the science has advanced to the point that we're like, oh hey, you know, you don't have to like raw air heal your tattoos now. You can just fucking put Sanoderm on it, and like it kind of amuses me sometimes if people are like, oh, you gotta take that saran wrap off. It's like, it's not saran wrap. Saran wrap, you don't want to fucking keep on that fucking long.
You do not want to keep on saran wrap. That's just going to suffocate your tattoo. Sanoderm is specifically designed as a breathing form of film that traps all your blood and plasma so that your own body can actually heal your tattoo, because there's nothing else more than your own body to be able to heal, you know, wounds and things like a tattoo. And I think it's a really good form of healing a tattoo, depending on the tattoo, of course. I actually tried doing Sanoderm on my hand, and I will say before I got it touched up, it was very patchy because it was a bad heal with the Sanoderm. It was not sticking on properly, but it was just not the right application for it. So.
I had similar problem with this word, like my little saying, like quote on my arm right here, because like the way the dude cut it, he put like half a layer and then he put another layer like on top of the other one.
You don't
like,
want to do that.
Like just like, and it was like overlapping like just this, but it didn't create a seal. So like by the time I like woke up the next day, I was like, fuck this. I peeled that off because I knew it wasn't like sealing in, so I knew it wasn't gonna heal properly. So I was like, fuck it. But the ones like my moths, like those came out really good, and they came out nice and dark just because of like the fact of using that as a healing process, and like also like my tattoo artist. So you know, shout out to Roy at Inklink, you know, for my moths. But yeah, I think obviously I got more planned, but I had Sanoderm on these when I was healing, and I ended up I could have let them stay on like a few days at the time. Now this is like some years ago, but like it was hot as fuck one day at work, and like I could feel like the sweat running down the back of my knees. So I went into the bathroom to check on my the Sanoderm on here, and like I had sweated through the seal, because like that's, in case you're wondering how you remove the Sanoderm, usually you remove it in the shower because you have to let the water like kind of like it doesn't come off in the shower, like if you're just like washing around it, but like if you're trying to like if you're generally like trying to like remove it, that's how you do it, just to try to break the seal, and then once you break the seal on it, it comes off easier. But I had sweated through it so badly that I had broke the seal on the Sanoderm, so I had to remove it a few days earlier than what I was planning.
I had the same exact experience with Sanoderm. The same exact thing. That's why I peel off my Sanoderm sometimes, and I also had my tattoo artist do the same thing of putting multiple layers in different spots. With this tattoo, I got these two tattoos, my favorite anime and my persona, and he put on Sanoderm from here, then another section, then right around here, and then another part right here. And with all these bendy parts and with my arm twisting, it always came undone, especially if I were to sweat, because I did actively work. So it always peeled up, and I figured it was the better option for me to take it off, which in the middle of me taking it off, I did infect my tattoo on my anime one, so I had to get it retouched, and then from there, I just normally healed it how it should. So, but now these, after some touch-ups, they now come out black and pure, and they're great. I love it.
I have like 2 Sona tattoos. I have this one that my friend Chip did as a sticker,
I saw
and
that.
I
That was
love
really
it so
cool.
much. I was like, I gotta get this tattoo. And I like the group, like our little friend group, like we all have like the same, like but like obviously, you know, edited slightly to fit our character or whatever. But we all have like a pack with like these little like annoying features, and we were like joking, like, oh yeah, we should all get a tattoo as like a sign of our friendship or whatever. I'm like, y'all think I'm fucking kidding, but I'm legit serious. And then I fucking showed up with the fucking, you know, meme sticker tattooed on me. I feel like, and you may disagree with me, you may not. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm gonna say my opinion anyway. I feel like if you don't have any like tattoos that don't really necessarily have any meanings, then like I can't trust you as a person, you know? Like if you take tattoos that fucking serious to the point where like every single tattoo you have has to have a meaning, I don't think I can like fully, you know, trust you as a person, because like then I'm looking at you and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, we are one conversation away from you trying to sell me a fucking pyramid scheme. Like that's how fucking serious. Like, yeah, bro, like my tattoo, like I got the clock because it symbolizes.
That's
time,
a really deep way to think about that.
And then I got the lion to symbolize my lion spirit, dude. And then like I don't know if you checked my Instagram lately, but like I've been pushing like these like, you know, protein bars, because like, you know, my lion spirit, you know, like I'm trying to like become like a young entrepreneur, and like, you know, my inner lion tells me to go pursue my career or whatever, and like, you know, if you get on with me, I'll cut you a really good deal, and you buy this from me, and then you can start selling, and I can teach you my classes for, you know, if you give me $500 and then pay me $50 a month.
All right, Billy Mays, we get
it. But yeah, if you are the type of person that has like every single one of your tattoos has to have a meaning, I don't think I can fully trust you, like, as a person, because like if you have like a silly goofy tattoo, or you have like one tattoo that you regret, that just kind of like just shows your humanity. Like we're always, you know, evolving and changing, and you know, just trying to like find our way or whatever. So you're gonna make fucking mistakes. You're gonna get a tattoo that you thought was a great idea, and like either you've fallen out of love with it because you've grown and changed into a different person.
It gives it its
or
character at the end of the day.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just stupid shit like that.
Yeah, this entire arm, I, you know, did not really go into it with any meaning at all, but it turned into meaning. I got all this. Literally, my first one was a low peep tattoo, favorite anime, my persona. All this black work. I literally asked my tattoo artist, hey, can you just give me black? Just black. And then he's like, okay. And then he just Sharpied me, and then he went ahead and just did his work. And then I think the only tattoo that I have that holds the most meaning out of this entire aggressive arm are my fingers. Because, I got that done from a old friend of mine from high school 2 weeks before I moved out. That I got these done by him, and they look great and amazing, and I went through a lot of stuff in between that time, and also got my car towed. So I went through a little bit too much, and they symbolize, they're 4 smiley faces, they're all broken. There are 3 smiling broken faces, then 1 sad broken face. They're all broken in their own way, they're all depressed in their own way, but one is just going through it the most. So that's the most meaning that I have out of this entire arm.
My like general theme of my tattoos, because most of them are like drawn by me in some form or fashion, and then like except for this one that my friend drew, like the little one with the little knife. Obviously these moth tattoos, I did not draw those. And then this like hyena skull that I have on my chest, but everything else done by me. Like, the reason I say like in some form or fashion is because I have words tattooed on me. Like, yeah, those are my words, but like obviously I didn't come up with like the alphabet or anything like that, or like the font used to like be tattooed on it. But like also when I go into like tattoo shops and stuff like that, and I show them like my art that I want to get tattooed on me, they're like, oh, do you want it exactly like that? And I'm just like, honestly, if you want to look at it as like a collab and like put whatever twist you want to put on it, or like make it any, simplify something that I've done, or it's not going to translate well in ink, or like after the healing process, do what you need to fucking do. And for the most part, they get it pretty close, but like obviously they're gonna make their edits because at the end of the day they're professional, and who the fuck am I to fucking come into their shop and tell them I want it tattooed exactly this way, and or whatever. I'm paying them for their experience, because if I wanted to be that way, I could just get a fucking tattoo gun myself and just go to fucking ham and then be mad at myself, later on. But like,
I would down with seltzer down my throat.
Go for it. I wish I had the space to. This is the one thing about this head that I don't, fuck with, is the fact that I can't fit anything in my mouth. So like my other heads, I can.
Get wrecked, nerd.
So you moved from Seattle, right? So like, what's some advice, or words of wisdom that you might have for anybody looking to move out there? It just seems like the great furry migration is everybody moving out west and shit. So like, what you got?
Seattle is beautiful. I love Seattle. I do miss it. I do miss Washington. It's green. I do miss the fact that it is cold. I now live on the East Coast, and I have figured out that it is very hot down here, and I do miss the rain. The one thing that I did complain about the most of the time, I do miss. The fact that it was really cold is very naturist. Of course, you have Seattle itself with its tourist attractions. You have the first Starbucks. You have the Pike Place Market. You have the very awesome family businesses that are around Seattle, and very gorgeous places to visit. A good example is Alki Beach. And it's a gorgeous beach with awesome family-owned businesses and restaurants, and a very big open wide beach that you can go horseback riding on, actually, which has happened a few times where I've seen a few horses there. It's just gorgeous. The vibe is great, and is also very LGBTQ plus friendly, and I do miss having that as well. I would say if you do plan on moving to Seattle, I would definitely suggest that you do a little bit more of your own research to see what is down over in Seattle and what happens, and to find other furries is honestly very, very nice. It's very diverse group of people that you'll find there, and it's a really good experience to go over to Seattle and meet new people. And there's a plethora of different things to do in Seattle. There's an endless amount of things that you can do with other people that interact in different ways, whether it is sociably or non-sociably. There's Airbnbs everywhere, there's bars everywhere, or there's very quiet areas in Seattle as well, which is very shocking to hear considering how big of a city it is. But yes, it is a very gorgeous place to be, and viewers' discretion is advised. That Seattle's not exactly perfect, but that's why I'm saying do your own research before you go down to Seattle. But nonetheless, it is a great place to visit and at least check out to see if it's your best fit.
Summarize that into my own words. Bitches, stack your bag. Make sure you make some connects, because if you don't know where the right places to look at, you might be moving into a bad situation. Take it for somebody who's moved around a few times. You don't really know the area like that. You might be moving into, you might be getting ripped off. You might be moving into a place that is charging you way too much rent. It's already an expensive area. You're already doing, you might be doing a lot of financial hurdles that are risky, financial ventures to take this move. So like, stack your bag, make sure you got yourself a job secured or something like that, or have like a safety net lined up. Make sure you got a sense of community, so when or if things go wrong, your mental health takes a dive or whatever, you have that, social safety net as well. Just because you're moving don't mean you need to cut everybody off just because, like, oh, I'm switching states. Like, but if your best friend is not even in the state that you're moving to, or, let's say you're moving from, what's a random state? Let's say you're moving from fucking Kentucky to Seattle and your best friend lives in fucking Missouri or some bullshit like that. You don't need to fucking cut your friend off, just because like, oh, I'm starting this new adventure and I'm gonna, make it in this little furry group and I'm not gonna talk to anybody from my past, blah blah blah. Don't do that. Don't hurt yourself like that. Don't clip your own wings because shit's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic, were you in like any of like the furry circle, like local groups or anything like that when you lived out there? Or because like in my eyes I feel like you're kind of like a newer furry, so I don't know if you kind of got into the fandom and then moved before you could like really like network out there, or what was the deal?
So are we talking about when I was in Seattle?
Yeah.
So for a little bit more context, I lived in Seattle for 22 years of my entire life. I'm 23. Yeah. So I've only lived in Seattle. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, yes, I'm not exactly a new furry. I joined when I was 16 years old. So 2016, I was a furry, and okay. I try to venture out and trying to find some new people, and honestly, it is really nice. I have found a few friend groups there that are really honest, down to earth, fun to hang out with, very creatively inclined, and a go-getter kind of person. So that is my take on, it is a friendly area. You're going to find a lot of people a lot like you. You're not alone, and you have people that will try to support you the best that they can. And hours also with people having hours in terms of people being night owls and morning people. You're gonna find people of all types over there, considering Seattle's kind of like a 24-hour feeling kind of state. Seattle is typically a 24-hour feeling kind of city. Yeah. So you're gonna find people that are gonna be probably up around 2 a.m. or 8 a.m. or around like 6 o'clock p.m. You're going to find people all the time, any time of the day to hang out with, and they're going to be down to earth, really sweet. And I have a few of my friend groups that I did have from there. I do miss them, and I really do wish them the best, but every now and then I do reconnect with them throughout conventions. So conventions are a lot of fun and a really good way for me to, reconnect with people that I used to live with.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot what I was about to say. I was about to say something. I was gonna say, so you fucking third shift bitches, there you go. And now if you decide to move out there and you have to work third shift to make ends meet, you gonna find your people. You just gotta be patient. But I feel like that could be true with a lot of furry groups. Obviously not in like the more rural areas, like obviously you're gonna have to join like the bigger city chats and stuff like that, but for the most part a lot of furry groups are kind of like that. You just have to like, sometimes you might have to try a little bit harder to find, and people just get discouraged so quickly. Like that's like the one like annoying thing I find about the fandom is bitches just get so fucking discouraged so quickly, and they just want to like roll around in their own despair and stuff like that, and it's like, damn, you really gonna let those fucking problems devour you, bitch? I fucking stay hungry, bitch. Like, I fucking eat my own fucking problems, and I fucking, go about my day, and I eat my friends' problems too if I have the fucking wherewithal to do it. Sometimes my battery is a little too low for that, but for the most part, you can't just let your fucking struggles just like eat you up and let you roll around and just be like, I can't find anybody to talk to, I can't do this, I can't do that. Find a way, okay? Dig down, find a way. God damn. Like,
or find that one friend that's able to show you the way, because not everyone, I will say also in reiteration that not everyone's able to find that way for themselves to be able to talk to people. Talking to people is very scary. Hi, I am one of those people that also don't like people generally, but I, of course, go outside of my comfort zone and try to talk to people and make that little effort to, explore my horizons and see who I can talk to. Now, for people that are just not able to do that, that one friend they're able to trust for all things, what is the phrase? That one friend that you're able to kind of just put your entire life down, and knowing that they can be able to lift you up and lift your spirits, and one that you can really trust. I would definitely find a friend that will help.
The air beneath your wings, is that what
you're
trying to? Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You want a friend that's the air beneath your wings, help you soar.
Yeah, find out one friend that's gonna help you push to, socialize. Hold on. Let me reword that. I would definitely find that one friend for the people that it's really hard to talk to other people. That one friend will
Hype you up.
yeah, hype you up to get outside of your comfort zone and meet some really awesome people that you wouldn't otherwise meet if it wasn't for them. So it doesn't mean that you have to find a whole group of people and force yourself into an uncomfortable situation. You can find that one friend that will ease you into everything and someone that you can trust and talk about all your problems with. So I would really recommend finding that one person, no matter where you live, to just have your heart and soul being trusted with one person to be able to battle things out together and hang out with others and force you to be in the situation of having multiple people to talk to, and then you're eventually going to have a bunch of friends yourself, and then going to conventions and eventually being able to talk to people without the aid of your friend, and you both are now able to venture off and do your own thing but still being wonderful friends.
Right. Okay, but like
What?
I was gonna iterate, but like at the same time, like yeah, you might want somebody to hype you up, but you also definitely want, at least even if you cannot find that in that person, and you have to have like another person for this. You also want someone who's gonna be the voice of reason and talk you off the ledge sometimes, and not like in a depressing way, but sometimes in like, hey, do you really think that this is the best course of action or best idea to be going about this? Like make you like rethink your plans a little bit and like maybe formulate a better action plan. Like someone who's gonna be like, hey, like you just went to XYZ con. Do you really think it's like in your best interest because you're just complaining about not having money for XYZ thing to go to another con or anything like that? You definitely want to. I feel like a lot of times those types of people get shucked off to the side because furries are always looking for somebody who's going to be that ray of sunshine and tell them yes to everything, and it's like, okay, you're looking for like a friend who wants to comfort your mommy issues, and it's like that's not how the real world works. That's not how a real friendship. And then they want to be surprised when they like turn around and realize that like those people who are always telling them yes, always constantly like not really like feeding into the pros and cons like to you, telling you like, okay, this might be a bad idea. Those type of people will always kind of like when shit starts to pop off, they disappear real quick. So yeah, you always want to have a pretty good balance. So like what Cryptic said, but like a little bit of a little bit what I said. Oh well, no, I was gonna piggyback off that. I was gonna say like, well, what's the fucking worst that can happen? It's like maybe they don't vibe with you, and it's like, okay, you just move on to like the next group. And then I feel like a lot of times furries are like act like they're being rejected that one time as the end all be all, so then they just think that the whole group is going to reject them. It's like, okay, as long as you weren't like extremely weird in that person's like DMs and like sending them unsolicited some stuff, like whether it just be like unsolicited conversation or like unsolicited like pictures and stuff like that, as long as you weren't like weird to the point where like you're giving red flags, you can always like rinse or repeat, because like something that might not work for
So generally the lack of maturity in some people might try to find that pick-me person to be relying on and just try to talk about their feelings and this and that, and just hold on, let me reiterate that because pick-me didn't really make sense. But no, generally you're talking about, yes, the lack of maturity in someone that especially getting into the furry community at such a young age. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have this lack of maturity in general, and just with life, how it goes on, and going through the furry community, you're gonna learn all your little ethics and morals on how the furry community works and how friends work, and just I would say, yeah, generally the immaturity of people. I will say, yes, sending unsolicited dick pics to people. Sorry, I'll reiterate that.
No, go ahead, say it.
Sending unsolicited pics to people that don't really share the same kind of feeling that you do, and also probably just downpouring a bunch of drama in your life that you're really not really needing. That is a problem in some people, but I will say it is still good to have that one person that you
can get invited.
Well, get a good vibe from, and get a good and get a good outlook on life, and even maybe they won't stick around for a while. And I definitely have a plethora of different friends that I did stick by with, and I unfortunately did show those sides of me, and not friends of mine anymore. We don't really talk anymore due to the fact that I was that way at one point, but they are the people that I have then ridden that road to figure out exactly how I should be around other people, how I should act in front of people, and how I should go about the furry community, and maybe go to conventions and make some other friends and make connections with people. And even though we're not friends right now, I still appreciate everything that they've done for me, and eventually maybe become friends again. But I would say having that one friend to have those experiences with is really important, and being open to the fact that you will have more of those friends later down the road.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that we kept the dice rolling, even though like I definitely felt like I fumbled that that segment. So like obviously I'll edit around some stuff. Like I just want to make it just coherent enough. But like if y'all feel like y'all missed something, that's just editing magic. That's just how it is. Sometimes you fumble your words a little bit. Again, obviously this is YouTube, this is not live or anything like that, so if there's parts chopped up and y'all feel like y'all missing context, sorry, you're not gonna get it. You're just gonna have to jump in and go with the flow. Y'all know this is my YouTube is a very casual space for me. I do a lot of like stuff that like normal furry pages don't do. Like I do toy reviews, I'll do like cooking, I do crafts, I do interviews with people. Sometimes those people I end up making content with. Like it is what it is. So like again, if it's the editing's kind of or a little bit choppy in some spots and y'all don't understand the context, sorry. I'm just gonna try and make it flow as best I can.
If you guys have any more questions about anything that we've discussed today, or have any burning questions dire to be answered, please go in the comments below, ask us these questions. We'll be more than happy to go down in the comments and respond to you guys to the best of our ability. Please do that. It helps us interact with you guys, ends up being closer to not even you and I, but of course just exploring the world of being a furry, and also just this amazing world of new friends, and generally being part of the furry community as one, to have other friends that relate to you. Please ask us these questions and we'll be more than happy to answer.
Yeah, and maybe, maybe not in like a comment, maybe we'll end up compiling, some of like the good questions and, making another video again. I wouldn't mind, you seem pretty chill. Like we talked beforehand when I got here off camera and stuff like that. And then like, we're having like pretty good conversation on camera too. So like we got some pretty good chemistry. So I wouldn't mind doing this again with you. Take some notes, okay? You may be a furry and you might love having furry friends, but sometimes if you are able to, it does benefit you to make normie friends. Sometimes I don't know if y'all are ready for that type of advice, but like especially as you start getting older and you realize that like it might not be so bad to rub, especially with like normie members of the LGBT community, because furries don't go out really. I don't know if you noticed that. Maybe it's different in Seattle, but like here, I've only lived in South Carolina and North Carolina. I've not lived in any other states. I've visited other states, but I've never really lived in other states. But like furries don't really go out to like clubs or bars or anything like that. And like when you limit yourself to like only hang out with furries, you kind of limit yourself to the areas they know in your circle. So like I'm learning about more LGBT like clubs and stuff from interacting with my like co-workers and like other normies who are in like LGBT spaces, more so than I would with furries. And I surprise, because furries love to fucking party and stuff like that. My partner is definitely one of those like furries who live like one foot in both worlds. Not so much like with his like work or whatever, but like with like just the other communities that he's in. So like he likes music too. I don't know if you knew that or not about Setting. That's kind of wild. It's like maybe
Say sometimes I'm one of those. I'm not sure. I'm both extroverted and introverted. I do enjoy talking to people, but like a party, for example, or like at a bar, I even have to step outside for a second, breathe for a second, because everyone's around me. Everyone's doing this. Everyone's doing that. Okay, now I can go back in and be a party animal. Now I have to go back outside and do it again, and then do it as many times as I need to until I'm okay.
No, dude, that's real. That's like fucking valid, because I do the same fucking thing. Like when I used to like throw parties and stuff like that down in South Carolina, I drifted from like one cluster to the next cluster just because like, sometimes one conversation might be too much and I'm going outside for some fresh air and then I'm like, okay, let me just kind of like dip my toes into this conversation. Like I'm just like standing on the outskirts of, like another, like, let's say the fucking smokers are, huddled up and they're having a conversation. I can like kind of drift over there, listen in. If I feel like I want to join in, I could,
That's
easily
exactly
slip
what I
in.
do.
But like, but if I'm not digging it, I can also drift from that and like, take a lap and then go back inside, maybe make myself a little drink or something like that, and then like rejoin whatever interaction I had going on. But like, yeah, I feel you on that. Like, you're not alone. It's totally valid. It's totally real. I wish I
Do
could.
it because I do like to go to bars and I do like to talk to people, and it's not really that too hard for me to want to do that. It is my general enjoyment to actually go out to bars and hang out and socialize, and I do like to do that, and it is fun. But being able to go to the bar.
Also, not to cut you off, but sorry if I'm like invading your personal space. I'm like all up on you.
I mean, really, considering what we talked about, yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay, all right. Just tell me if I'm making you uncomfortable.
No, you're good. I will say I need to take a pee.
Okay.
Yeah, it is the alcohol talking. Wow.
Furries, always remember consent. Okay. But yeah, while they're peeing, I've learned that sometimes having interactions with like normies and stuff like that, you learn a lot about your area that you might not know, and you might be thinking to yourself like, oh yeah, my fucking city sucks. It's just so fucking boring. There's nothing to do. I'm gonna move out to, like for example, Seattle, and I see a lot of people running into the same problems where they're just like running away, trying to escape their problems without like facing why they're having these problems. Like, and I see this also like in the furry fandom when it comes to like people getting like their fursuits. I'll also reiterate this part just in case Cryptic has some form or fashion to like weigh in on it. But like I also noticed this with like when it comes to like people getting their fursuits. I think that just because like now, especially if hypothetically they get like a name brand popular fursuit maker, full suit, they think that like the suit overnight is going to deliver them a social status when it's just kind of like, okay, that's a cute suit that came out of the ether, but who the fuck is this? Like, if you don't work on yourself as like a person and like develop your personality, that suit's not gonna do anything for you, and at the end of the day, you're just gonna be just as like lonely and depressed as you were before you have the suit, and now you're what? You just spent fucking like 4K on a suit that didn't solve your fucking problems. And that's not to say that like, the suit might not change. The suit might change stuff. It might open doors. Like sometimes that does happen, but also I feel like a lot of the times people don't realize that having a fursuit doesn't magically solve problems, especially if the problem is your personality. I was just saying that like I noticed that a lot of the times people want to move to escape their problems without like really facing like what their problems are, and then they get to a place and then they realize that like basically they're right back where they started. They're just in a different city and they just spent a bunch of money moving. And same thing with like fursuits. Like you get a fursuit and you think like automatically that you're going to like have some kind of social status, only to realize that like you're still stuck in the same spot. You just now have a fucking expensive ass fucking suit to basically stare at you and judge you in the corner of your room now.
Yeah, I don't really try to look at people that way. I mean, not to say that you are. I'm just saying, like me personally, I don't try to like to look at people that way because at the end of the day, I feel like people, get a fursuit for the fact that they enjoy the furry community and they want to be more involved. But I will say there is the people, the bad apples of the bunch, that feel the need that they are going to get this instant gratification and instant validation for having a fursuit and thinking it's going to solve all their problems, to think that, hey, I can have friends now, people love me because I'm wearing a fursuit. And unfortunately, to this day and age, in my personal opinion, that is kind of true in the sense that some people do look at other furries and say, oh my god, they have a fursuit, I want to talk to that person. And I personally feel that when I notice that, and I notice that they are just wanting to hang out with me because I have a fursuit, I personally shut them out. Because that's not what I'm about. I'm about spreading love and positivity and just doing my own thing, being a badass motherfucker, wearing a fursuit head, and just owning it. And I love just being a furry in general for the community and spreading love and just this instant possibility that you can be a very well diverse individual and a very special individual and still have an entire community to back you up and understand exactly what you're going through.
Okay. I am more of a, like, to piggyback off what you said, like, yeah, for the most part, it seems like most people do it for the right reasons. Like, they get the suit because they want to get the suit, and that's totally valid. Do it because you want to do it. It is your money. You worked for that money. If you want to fucking buy it, as long as you're not putting yourself in a financial situation where you're about to be evicted or anything like that. Now, or in a situation where like you can't pay your bills or anything like that. As long as it's not that, get the suit. Okay, this is your PSA. Get the suit. I feel like a lot of times people just come across other people who get the suit for the wrong reasons more so often. So like, this is just kind of like a warning. Like, if you get the suit, yeah, you're gonna come across those people who, and it's very transparent. I guess that's the main factor I want to get into. So like, it's very transparent when people want to only interact with you just based off the fact that you have a suit. And it's definitely something that like my partner Seton is experiencing, and it's making him feel very like kind of like discouraged, like, because they're at a point in their life where they're like starting to like settle into their own being and like further like flourishing their personality. They're growing as a person now. So they're coming to realize a lot of people that they thought, fucked with them, only fucked with them because they had a suit or because they were trying to gain something from them. Just like whether they be like clout, well, not necessarily clout chasers, but like, that type.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't think of a term for it, but like just someone who's just going to, use you, and then once you've served your purpose, they just kind of like throw you away. So like that is definitely something that you would have to deal with once you get your suit. I would definitely also say that like, just to give some context for people who, are usually upset at the fact that like a lot of people seem, and it's an illusion. It's really not that many, well, at least in my personal opinion. There's not a lot of chats that are like suitor only, or like mersuitor only, but there are a few. Okay, that's not to say there's none, but there's not to say that there's a myriad of them. There's a few, and that is the reason why those types of chats do exist, because sometimes it gets a little too much trying to figure out who's trying to genuinely get to know you and who's just trying to get close to you because you have a suit. And not to say that you're not going to encounter that in those groups, because you will have, clout demons within those like circles who have suits and only want to interact with you because you have suits. But like, it's transparent. That's my main point. That's my main message. Is it's transparent. We can tell. Okay, you may think you're slick, but you're not. Okay, all right, we can tell. Now, me, myself, and I try to be a little bit nice and give people the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes it just seems like I always just fucking fall for it. It's like, damn, I thought you were actually like really like, onto something, and then you're just another fucking cloud demon. Like,
It's a little trial and error in people. It's really just going through. I mean, it's definitely going to get easier with life experience. It's going to get easier with living and going through the motions and understanding people's intentions, what they're really there for, what they're really not there for. It's going to be more noticeable when you go through that life experience and able to talk to those people and be in that experience.
Right.
But yeah.
I'm not trying to like scare y'all into like not trying. I'm just saying that, don't get discouraged when you cast your line out to like make these connections with people, and sometimes you don't catch anything on your line, or sometimes you might not vibe with that person. You might rub them the wrong way. You might accidentally trigger them and not realize that you're triggering them. But try not to take it like personally. Just try to take it as like a learning opportunity. Just sit with yourself and like reanalyze the situation and think like, okay, how could I have done this differently? How could I like? And definitely, especially in like these like group, like local group chats, you do not need to post your intrusive thoughts for strangers to read. Intrusive thoughts should remain between you and your best friend, okay? Alright? I send all my intrusive thoughts to my best friend, and once in a while, if I think it's kind of like funny or something like that, and it's not gonna become like a problem, it's not gonna turn into some kind of problematic post or like a call out post or something like that, I might post it in the fucking like group chat. Like sometimes you have to read the room. Sometimes, you know, that one intrusive thought, you know, the vibe that the group is giving off, you know they're gonna be receptive to it, and you just gotta have to like feel it out for yourself. I'm definitely like one of the types of people that like I like to people watch. So like I kind of feel out the room before, and like a lot of times people just assume either I like don't like them, I'm intimidating, or you know occasionally I might get like, oh, you're just a shy little cutie, and it's like I'm just trying to read the room, and then I can kind of like go from there. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with just reading, taking a moment, read the room, and then you know immerse. You know, but other people you might see them jump headfirst in. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know, but if it doesn't work out, you know, it is what it is. You just gotta take ownership of like, okay, the fact that like, okay, I said something cringe, I'm gonna own that, and I'm gonna fucking keep the dice roll, I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm not gonna let that fucking hold me back. I'm not gonna, you know, pop off at everybody and make it and gaslight them and be like, oh, that was funny, you guys just suck ass. Like you don't have to do all that, you know. I'm sure you might have encountered some of those types in like chats and stuff. I feel like everybody has.
I kind of block it out personally. I'm not really too invested in drama or trying to get into anything that's gonna emotionally make me exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, at this point in my life, I'm just kind of like here to just kind of do my own thing, and I don't give a fuck about what everybody else is kind of doing. Like, if it's fun to me, then I'm gonna fucking do it. I like this YouTube channel. I think it's fun, so I'm fucking doing it. Same thing with my AD content. It aligns with my fetishes, and I'm having fun. Now, I had fallen off for a bit because like I was having like dysphoria and stuff like that. But like now that I've had my surgery, I'm like kind of making my comeback. But like it's kind of hard because I feel like I've been trying to like kind of get back into it, and it's rough, it's hard, you know, but I'm trying to be patient with myself and like patient with, you know, the process, and also just like going through stuff that I've done in the past, like looking at like my past content and like reevaluating like, okay, what could I have done differently. Sometimes I look at my like really really old stuff and I'd be like, oh, I cringe a little bit. I'd be like, damn, what the fuck was I thinking? Like I could have done this so much differently. And it's similar to like getting to know people. Sometimes you like look back or think back on past conversations, you're like, oh, I can't believe I fucking said that. Like, damn, what if I had just like had that clarity nut first before I said this wild so. And sometimes people they don't vibe it. I mean, they don't care. Like, if you say something and like later on you're like, oh damn, that was really embarrassing, I'm so sorry I said that, you know, I don't really care. I'm gonna keep it rolling. But if you were just not owning up to the fact that like you said some like out of pocket shit, I don't know if I'm gonna be comfortable with you, you know. So, yeah. All right, guys. I think I fucking talked your and Cryptid's ear off. I know it's been a while since I made a video, but again, similar to getting back into content, I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. I know I said that in the last video, but like that's life, you know, being an adult. So, my bad. I messed up my own outro. But yeah, if y'all haven't heard this today, I love y'all. And if today's your birthday, happy birthday. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day or night. And I will, anything you want to plug?
Is there anything for me to... Oh, yeah, there is, huh? Well, if you haven't already, go check out Cut. That is the YouTube channel that I did my dating shows with. Please go check them out and show them a lot of love. I do make music. My name is Dre K on SoundCloud. Please go check him out. And I'll see you guys another day. And you guys have a fun night. Peace out. Take care. Love and peace. Be safe. Drive safe. Drink responsibly.